Rule 2 on a matter of privilege that has been breached, both as an individual representing my constituency and the breach of collective privilege of members of this parliament. Mr. Speaker, I come under the Legislative House's Powers and Privileges Act, and I also come under Section 4, the combined reading of Section 4 of the Constitution and Section 80 of the Constitution. These sections give us the responsibility of making laws for the Federation. Section 80 particularly authorizes Parliament. It gives it enabling powers to make appropriation laws that expenditures with regard to monies accrued to the Federation account has to be done in the way and manner prescribed by National Assembly. That is the House and the Senate. Mr. Speaker, I have reliably learned that the federal government has breached by making this parliament completely unfunctional. Its scope of work as defined by the Constitution to prescribe expenditure by federal government has been taken out from us. We are in the know, Mr. Speaker, that the federal government has spent $460 million in payment to companies in the United States of America for the supply of military equipment without appropriation from this parliament. Is a complete breach of my privilege. Mr. Speaker, that is 165 billion naira. More importantly, it is 0.165 trillion naira.
Leader.
Definition of privilege is. He said definition. That's Order 6, Rule 1. Privileges are the rights enjoyed by the House collectively and by the members of the House individually, conferred by the Legislative Houses Powers and Privileges Act, Cap 112, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and other statutes, practices, precedents, usages, and customs. That is the definition of privilege. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, I have anchored this on the Constitution, which is our ground norm. I have also anchored it on Legislative Houses and Privileges Act. It defines it. And more importantly, it is customary. And it is also the norm that the Parliament has responsibility to make appropriation. Yes. Anything outside it is a breach, both of right and privilege. And I believe that we should take this serious, because otherwise we have no business being here.
In order not to belabor this issue, rules are very clear. You can come under privilege, you can come under matter of urgent national importance. The truth is that privileges, all those rights given to you by statute, it's your right as a member to sit and appropriate in the House. And it's the right of the National Assembly to appropriate. So once these things are breached, if it is actually true, then you have a grounds for complaint, and we must listen to you as a member of this House. So address the issue and let's hear you out.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would have said that Osai has laid the ground for this breach, because 1.4 trillion out of appropriation is key, but this one is more important. So we have to assume our responsibility. We are paid for it. And there is no way you can fight any mischief that is intended in expenditure. There is no way you can ensure value for money if you don't bring it to Parliament for scrutiny. That's the only way it is done. And the framers of this constitution, they were mindful of some of these level of impunity that could occasion expenditure without appropriation. This is exclusive of the 1 billion that is said to have been approved. So, Mr. Speaker, this Parliament has to make sure that its duty, we are not going to be doing the duty of the executive. They should allow us to do our own. We cannot go and take the responsibility of the judiciary. So in our own and for the benefit of Nigeria, so to ensure that there is value for money, that is why you scrutinize it and oversight it thereafter.
And Parliament as a watchdog.
And Parliament is a watchdog. So I believe strongly that, Mr. Speaker, we have to look into this, investigate the veracity of this, and make sure that not just that this does not happen and the Syria breach does not continue to happen, it should be stopped forthwith. And we should be given explanation why this breach of the fundamental law of the country should be encouraged.
Sunday Karimi.
So I move that we should look into it, investigate it, and find whether the breaches and how, to what extent this offends our constitution. Thank you very much.
So, privilege.
Yes, sir.
So, we'll have to send it to the relevant committee for discovery, because these are very, very serious issues. And it's even good that you're talking about money being paid to the United States, which is the bastion of the democracy that we practice. So if it appears that money has been taken from the coffers of the federal government without authorization or explicit legislative consent, it can be regarded as stealing, really. And I don't think the US will accept stolen money or act on stolen money. So all we can do is to refer the matter to Committee on Finance, let them query this. If it is actually true, then the Parliament must do what is needful, because I don't want a situation where we can be pitched against our out of office.